Hey guys, let's jump into this video and without further ado. So Ming now comes out and she speaks on the entire altercation involving Jackiechristie and Chantel. Now she's giving us some tea, y'all, that we did not know about, but we're gonna basically talk about what Ming had to say in her video that she dropped, and basically saying that Chantel was a liar, that she manipulated not only Ming, but the other cast members as well. Let's get into it.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes. Don't stop.
Y'all, let's get into it. Y'all, I got this new little drink that I be getting from Starbucks. Y'all should try it out. It's called Mango Dragon with a little bit of lemonade. It's really good. Like, I need to stay out them people's stove, Starbucks. Okay. I need to stay up out of there. But let's get into it. Ming Lee has now dropped the bombshell and pretty much told us that Chantel is a liar. We had done figured this out anyways, because I've been telling y'all this girl is a liar. Again, I'm not discounting what she said, but the fact of the matter is this broad is a liar. And let's get into it. When a person tell a lie, they just a liar. So I don't believe anything you say. When you start lying, I don't believe nothing that you say. Okay. So in this here
my problem with Chantel
video right here, Ming Lee kind of goes into everything, y'all. She pretty much spill it all. And she talks about everything we've been talking about. Like this girl and what she's saying don't add up. Again, we're not saying that Jackie is perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but this story that she's given us, it just doesn't add up. So I'm going to play the audio, y'all, and then I may stop it from time to time. But let's just get into what Ming had to say.
hate addressing stuff like this, but one, I want to say I do stand on my apology to Jackie. I feel like
it's not talking to you that I'm standing on business, is it?
I owe Jackie an apology for one, not staying out of people's business, like family business. I should have just listened and said nothing, because my problem with Chantel is that you lied. Like, you came down to that room after the altercation and you manipulated me. I don't know if Evelyn and Brandy felt manipulated, but watching it back on TV, I felt like I was manipulated. I felt like I have spoken to you after the incident. I reached out, like you said, in your Carlos King interview. I've texted you and checked on you, and at no point did you say, hey, remember when I said that my mom just punched me or pushed me? It was because she didn't. I actually pushed her first. So I just felt like at some point you could have corrected their narrative. Like, we went from my event, it was like 3 weeks from Hawaii to my event. At no point did you say, hey, I pushed my mom first. And I know that you at some point found out, because you even said that your dad was requesting to see the footage and he wanted to see who was telling the truth, because you had your side of the story and your mom had her side of the story. And so once you found out the truth, you never told us. Now, granted, I do have a very rocky and, not so normal relationship with my mom, and always have. So I've always understood your point of view. But at no point could I push my mom and not be knocked into the middle of next week. At no point could I push my mom, hit my mom, and live to do an interview with Carlos King. Let's be very clear, okay? Like, very, very clear. And my mama takes it there. Like I told y'all when I met y'all, I could do Jackie in my sleep. Because if you know my mom, Vicky Vic, you know she is, okay? She one of them. And my mom has gotten into it with all of my friends and cussed them all out, okay? All of them. I just posted the other day when my friend said, remember when your mom threatened to beat my ass? And if you think for 1 second that any one of my friends could ever disrespect my mom in front of me, no matter if me and her arguing, I just posted the other day when my friend said, remember when your mom threatened to beat my ass? And if you think for 1 second that any one of my friends could ever disrespect my mom in front of me, no matter if me and her arguing or not, or no matter how many conversations I have with my friends about my mom, about my frustration, you think that the next time my mom is in their presence that they can call her a bitch? I beg your pardon? Absolutely not. Because now, that's still my mama. She still gave birth to me. And our relationship is, you know, me and my mom relationship has gotten better over the last recent years, and I'm 38 years old. So, and when I say recent, I'm talking about real recent, like the last 24, 36 months. But I still would never hit my mom. Before I do that, I would block her. We got into it the season finale night to where we was yelling and screaming at each other, me and my mom, to where I had to tell the driver to pull over the truck and let me out because it was becoming too much. And I knew how far it was going to go. And when we got to my condo, the whole entire production team rushed down. I just walked inside the house and booked her a flight to go.
Okay, let's kind of go over some of what Ming said. And I love this because she's being straight up front. And also, what I also wanted to say, because I totally forgot about this, when they are filming this show, and even after, they don't know what has actually been filmed. So that kind of slipped my mind. So when the ladies is hearing from Chantel saying, you know, my mom slapped me or she punched me or whatever, they don't really know what really happened unless it's aired, right? And think about some of the things that never make the editing floor. Listen to what Ming said. Chantel allowed the lie to go on, at least, so we're not talking about how many weeks has passed now, but from the time that Chantel told the lie, Ming said it was 3 weeks, at least 3 weeks until that next event. So girl, in 3 weeks, you never came back and said, you know what? I pushed her, or this is what happened. She allowed the lie to go on. And let me just tell y'all why she allowed the lie to come on and never corrected it. Because if y'all paid attention to her in the Carlos King interview, what did she say? There has been worser things that has happened that has never made it on television. So good old Chantel with her good lying ass, she did not know if this was going to make it. She's a manipulative liar. So because she didn't know if it was going to make it, she's like, well, why am I going to apologize or tell him the truth? Well, the crazy part is, girl, after it made the editing floor, we saw it on TV, she still is such a horrible individual that she still never went back to the ladies and apologized, because for some reason she doesn't apologize, or maybe she just don't like Jackie just that much. Get this. Ming goes on to say, remember I told y'all, I said she was obviously going back telling Jackie's husband. Now I get it, that's your daddy, but girl, you need to understand that's her husband before it's your daddy, and you are grown at this point. So husbands stick by their wives, daddy or not. So she was calling Doug, telling Doug all these lies about her mother, including saying that Jackie pounced on her, but did not tell the truth. Now, Doug, knowing that Jackie will pounce on him up, you know, he know that, but he also knows that Chantel ain't wrapped too tight either. Ming says Doug asked for the footage. Get this. So even if you so cray-cray that you forgot, once y'all got that footage, you remember, there is no excuse for her not coming back, correcting this information, then to double down and go on Carlos King and still drag her mama and then say, well, she knew I was upset. She shouldn't have touched me. So it's just so many, she had so many opportunities, y'all, to correct this. Now, the reason that she did not is because she was on this path to try to make Jackie look as worse as she could. But what ended up happening is that she made herself look crazy, because we've been watching Jackie for 10 years. If we don't know Jackie is crazy, then we must be crazy. Now, before I let it play back out, one thing Ming said, she said, listen, I don't get along with my mother. We just got our relationship in a better place. She also said, and this is the, respect component. Listen, ain't nobody finna be calling my mama out of her name. You're not going to disrespect my mother. Hello, that is what we've all been saying. She also said, listen, before it gets to that part, what would I do? She said, I'll block her. That's what I said. Listen, we don't disrespect our parents, but we definitely block them.
But at no point did I allow she didn't do it when one of my really good friends, Brittany, in my apartment for 4 hours. She cussed this lady out for 4 hours. And all I kept saying to Brittany is, yo, just don't say nothing. Like, she gonna get tired. She gonna lay down. And you know what I mean? I'm sorry. You know what I mean? But you think I would let Brittany call my mama a bitch in front of my face? No. But what you do and how you handle your trauma that's your thing, right? And even in my confessionals, I said, would I have done what you did? No. And still live to talk about it. How you handle your traumas is how you handle your traumas. And yes, we did have a bond. Yes, I am a girl's girl. And yes, I am cool. But also, too, I'm like you. I can take accountability for when I'm wrong. And Jackie, you know what I mean? Jackie is Jackie. So if you know Jackie, you know Jackie. And it's just like I tell people, you know Vicky, you know Vicky. But at the same time, I was manipulated. I felt manipulated and I felt lied to. That's just the bottom line. And at no point did you clear up to any of us that you lied. And I talked to several of my castmates that have the same sentiments, yeah, Jackie a motherfucker, but we was lied to. You got Evelyn in a room crying. You know what I mean? Everybody hurts heavy thinking she just hit you out of nowhere for nothing because you trying to speak to her when that's not what happened. And then watching the season and seeing how y'all even interaction is and how angry you was. And granted, we didn't know the backstory. I for sure didn't know the backstory. This is my first season. So I don't know the backstory. So I don't know your traumas. All I see is that you are pissed off at your mom. Which I'm pissed off at mine too. So I have childhood traumas too. A lot of them. I'm not sitting around. I didn't even go on national TV with my mama to be sitting around week after week calling her goofy and bitches and that's just not. I wouldn't do it. But if that's your relationship, that's your relationship. Because I surround my mama. You know what I mean? But I would never let my friends be calling my mom no bitch. That's me though. That's me. And that's what you want to do. I'm not judging you on that. But you can't be mad at me because I apologize for feeling manipulated about a situation that I felt one way because I thought the facts was the facts. And then after seeing it and asking production, was that edited? Was that scene edited? Was that scene edited or was it rolled straight through? And found out that it was rolled straight through. I said, oh, you know what I mean? At some point, I just feel like you think I owe you an apology. I feel like you owe me, Brandy, and Evelyn an apology. That's how I feel. I feel like you owe us an apology for walking down that hallway and coming to us and you right. I totally agree. You should have went to your room And at that point, it should have been, I don't want nobody else in my business. Because it had gone too far. I think you owe me an apology. I think you owe Evelyn an apology. And I think you owe Brandy an apology for coming down there lying to us. And yeah, like, okay, you want to follow me? Okay, cool. Like, if you feel some kind of way that I apologize to Jackie, cool, because I do owe Jackie an apology. Jackie told me from day one, I'm not doing this with my daughter. Y'all stay out of my business. And you know what? I should have said, you know what? You're right. I wish you and the Christies nothing but blessings. I hope you guys do get a chance to, resolve issues. And I do hope you guys get to, heal and move forward, onward and upward. I did a recap video, which I'm going to drop, after that, just talking about the season. But I did want to personally address this issue because I'm just like,
okay, so that's pretty much her take on everything. And again, what I've been saying is, girl, you're not a truthful person. If you even take her interview on Carlos King and paired it to what we saw and how she tried to explain it, the girl was even lying then. One thing about a liar, they forget what they say. Think about it. When you're trying to come up with a lie, you got to put this damn lie in your head. Think about if somebody asks you a question, how you going to respond. She is a liar. Ming is saying that, and now the other cast members are saying it. But the bad part about this is just apologize to Jackie. Y'all need to mind y'all own business, especially you women with children or grown children at this grown up kids at this, juncture. But one thing Ming spoke on is the disrespect. And that was my whole thing. Everything, girl, stop disrespecting your mama. Like, you're doing too much. Like Ming said, Chantel is not the type of person that likes to apologize. What type of person is that? While she's talking about her mother, it seems like she has some very narcissistic characteristics, because now she's mad at Ming. She's not talking to Ming because Ming apologized for her own actions. What kind of crazy person is Chantel that you are mad at another grown up for apologizing for something that they feel like they did? That's some crazy shit right there. Now, Ming says, Chantel, she feels like you're a manipulator, and you manipulated them purposely. And it's clear that is exactly what you did. Now, Ming also, again, she speaks on her traumas, with her mother, and nobody has had a perfect relationship with probably either parent. Like, we are human beings. We are bound to make mistakes. But what Ming said is, girl, you on here calling your mama goofies and bitchs. That's another level. Like, listen, if that's how you handle your traumas, I guess. But if it was me, nah, we don't get down like that. So it goes into who you are. You told us how you were so afraid of Jackie, yada, yada, yada. That didn't seem like fear to me, calling somebody bees and goofies. So the fact of the matter is, girl, you are a liar. You came on this show to try to destroy your own mother, which is crazy, because if she hadn't advocated for you, you wouldn't be even on this show. Because I don't care how much you don't like your own mother. The fact of the matter is, she's a reality star. And if Jackie wasn't on this show, nobody would watch it. Nobody really likes Evelyn. If Evelyn doesn't even need to be on this show. She has absolutely nothing to give. So Jackie is the one that we all watch. So the simple fact that you came on this show to drag your mother, not only drag your mother, you're a liar. You lied on your mother. Then you told us, you went on social media talking about your sister did these things to you. Girl, you need to get your head checked out. Now, I know that baby daddy is watching, because it seems like there's some things going on with you that's not really normal, because all of these allegations that you are putting on your family with no evidence. If you're going to come out and make these allegations, you might as well come on out with the evidence. But it seems like you are a clout chaser and you want that clout, because we remember, Takari had told her story and, everybody was listening, but then you come out with the same similar story. I mean, you have talked about your trauma and it is in her book verbatim. So I'm just trying to understand, if I'm experiencing my trauma or I'm explaining my trauma, how is it that when I talk about, like Takari said, that the relationship she had with Jackie kind of puts you in the mind of a relationship with like a male, like a male relationship, a man and a woman, if they're in like a toxic relationship. Now, Takari described her relationship with Jackie that way, and you said the exact same thing. So this is how I know that you are a liar and you are making shit up and you low damn down and dirty, because you don't care about your own mother, trying to take your own mother down. And that's really creepy, really creepy. And, we know you won't be coming back to this show, but I am glad that Ming actually came clear, because it makes her likable. Now, I wish, she would have said something during the show, but now that I think about it, I can understand why she would not have saw that, because when they are filming, they don't really know, what's going on until they actually play it back. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments.
Nothing got the scoop on lock, spilling all the tea while it's still too hot. Lakeysha Keysha, queen of the plot.